there everybody, it's Kathy Champion and you're back with me in my craft room here at Random Acts of Crafting. I'm going to do a specialty gatefold card today, and you're going to start off with a piece of, I forgot my measurements, 4 1/4 by 11. So you're just going to take a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, put it in your trimmer on the 8.5 inch side, and cut it at 4 1/4. And then we're going to do some scoring. We're going to score it at 2 3/4. And if you want to make it easy, you can turn it and do the same thing again at 2 3/4. Or you can put it in your scoreboard like this, score it at 2 3/4, and then at 8 1/4. That will give you the same thing. Crease your edges down really tight. Use your bone folder and get those really nice and tight, because anytime you have a gatefold, you're going to have a tendency where it's going to want to come open like that. So, but hopefully after we get everything down on our card, we'll see if we need a belly band or anything to help hold it in place. So what I want to do next, before we go any further with the mattings and all of that, I'm going to lay that back up there. We're also going to be using this die set, and this is the Celebration label die, and this is in our new mini catalog. And of course, I'm not selling right now. I will be back, but we are going to use the next to the smallest and the next one up in size from that one, and I'll show you that when we get to it. We will cut out some pieces out of that. Right now I have the stamp set, and this is from a company called Your Next Stamp, and a friend of mine sent me a card that had these butterflies on it, and I fell in love with them. So I told her I really needed this stamp set. So she told me where she got hers, and I was able to order one. Now this is a European stamp company. So remember, if you are ordering this, it takes a little while to get here because it does have to come across the pond. And the title of it is Spread Your Wings, and it is just the cutest. Let me put this on a piece of white. Grab a piece of white paper, and I want you to look how cute this set is. It is just absolutely adorable. And as you can see, this butterfly and this butterfly are the ones that I pulled off, and those are the two that we're going to stamp. So I have a piece of scrap paper here, and this is the heavy paper. So we are going to stamp both of these butterflies, and I'm just going to stamp it in the Memento because I want to use my alcohol markers. So I'm going to stamp one right here. Beautiful. And then I'm going to stamp the other one, same thing, Memento ink, and stamp it right here. I'm putting a little pressure on there. Of course, I'm getting ink on my fingers, but, and there we go. Well, we cut that one off just a little bit. So let's come over here and try that again. Let's try stamping it this way. Much better. Okay, I'm going to clean my stamp, and I'm just going to grab my little Stampin' Scrub, and I'm sorry about the noise. I'm just going to clean these off real quick, and I'll do a better cleaning on them after a while, but I just want to get a little of that residue ink off. The main thing is I do not want to transfer ink to my other projects. I am going to go off camera and color and cut these, and I'm also going to use these dies and go ahead and cut out this piece and this one. I'm going to do the larger one in a yellow and the smaller one in a white, and the reason for that is I want to be able to stamp my sentiment on that white piece. So we will be right back. Okay, we are back, and I think we are pretty much ready to put this little card together. And I'm hoping by cutting everything ahead of time that it's going to make the process a little bit easier. I did grab out this Fisker, and this is like a three-way punch, and it does little decorative corners. And I chose this one right here, and I punched the white for these two panels right here. I punched those out on each corner, and our butterfly is going to live right there, and we're probably going to pop that butterfly up just a little bit. But let's go ahead and I'm going to show you the pieces I have for the card. These are 2-inch circles that I punched out using a circle punch, and if you don't have a circle punch, you can always use if you have a die, you can use a die, or if you don't have that, you can use like your bottle of glue or anything. I have a prescription bottle here. Just find something that has a 2-inch radius on it, and you could trace it and then cut that out using your scissors. So there's always ways to get around this type of thing if you don't have what you need. So you can always still work it. Like I told you, this is 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. So that gives you that perfect little gatefold card. This does fold into an A2 size card, so it will fit in an envelope. Let's go ahead and do our layers first. I'm going to lay these over out of my way for a minute, and as well as this and my little circles. And we're going to pull over, and I'm going to show you what I did for my panels. We're going to decorate the front of the card first. What I did is I cut panels to fit on here, and these panels are, what I did is I went 1/4 inch less than what my panel measured. So the panel is 4 1/4, so I cut them by 4, and they're 2 3/4 wide, so I cut it at 2 1/2. So 2 1/2 by 4, and that's what the blue mats are. So let's go ahead and put these down, and I'm trying to decide. I think I'm just going to use some regular art glitter glue for this, and I chose this side because I think it coordinates with the pattern paper. So, and this is the in color selection of papers from Stampin' Up. Yes, I'm still using Stampin' Up products, even though I'm not technically selling them, but make your list, and when I get back in, I'll make sure that I give y'all all of the information. And I am counting the days down. So I only have like a couple months now, so we're down 1, and I could not be more thrilled. This piece of Designer Series paper, I cut this at 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then that's going to nest right on top of this. And even that side's pretty, but I wanted that blue in it, showing that little bit of green, because that gave me more incentive to pull in some of those other in colors for our new season of colors. And I thought this was just beautiful. Look how pretty that coordinates together. I love it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. You cut 2 of each of these, and I'll have all the measurements on the screen as well as in the description, so that way if you want to make this card, you will have all the tools and the measurements and everything that you need. So, and once I get my blog up, it'll be really good, because then I can just link my blog. You can go directly there and see the card along with the video. Make sure I'm getting that in the right orientation, and that looks, yeah, I think it goes like that. And again, I'm putting some glue on the back of it. And then we're going to put this down on here, get it centered. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love those colors together, so vibrant. It looks so summery. I think it's just gorgeous with those sunflowers. Beautiful. So now on the inside, You know, I didn't think about these. We're probably going to need to put something on those too. For the inside, I cut this panel to go in just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to put glue on it and glue it in. And I'll give you the dimensions on this piece. And I think this is just going to be a standard A2 size mat, which would be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And let's check it to make sure, but I want to make sure I got that glue completely worked out. Okay, and let's see if this is not 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, now we need to decide if we want to do in here, but let's go ahead and get the rest of our card together, and then we'll decide. I may put a message on each one of these. I'm not really sure yet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab this yellow, and this is from that Celebration die set. Celebration Labels, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Celebration Label dies. And these are just gorgeous. And I also punched out or die cut these 2 little leaves to put on the white piece because I think it just really adds a lot. And I think I'm going to keep this flat. I was thinking about bringing it up with some dimensions, but I think I want to keep it flat because if you add bulk into a gatefold card, you are asking for some trouble. So I'm just going to eyeball center that, about like that. And again, I use my bone folder. Anytime I use a liquid glue, I always like to go over it with a bone folder because for me that really helps that glue spread out underneath your piece. And I'm going to bring over this old mouse pad. Y'all know I use this all the time. And I am going to lay this down. And I've got this little message right here that says, "You bring joy into my life." And we're gonna put that right there in the middle. Again, I'm eyeball centering. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to grab a stamp block. I'm going to pick this up. And what I want to do is grab some Versafine. My favorite ink for sentiments, as y'all all know. And this stamp has not been seasoned. So I think what I'm going to do is rub it over here on a little bit. I'll tell you what, let's get the stamp and scrub. I have found that stamp cleaner, I don't know about others, but this particular one right here, the Squeaky Clean, conditioned stamps really, really good. So I'm just going to rub it in the Squeaky Clean and then rub it off. And I will probably want to stamp this off on something else just to make sure that I'm getting a good image before I stamp it on my piece. So I'm just going to come over and ink that up. Yeah, that definitely needed to be stamped. And all photopolymer stamps are like that. You have to season them. And see, that's still not stamping as good as I would like it. So I'm going to hold it there this time just for a little bit longer to let it get onto the... That's a little better. And I think it's supposed to have that look. It almost looks like it's an old newspaper type print. And I really think that that is supposed to look that way, so we're going to go with it. I'm just going to clean it off one more time. And let's go ahead and try that. This time we're going to go ahead and stamp it onto our piece. And that looks good. So let's get it centered up and centered right here, and here we go. So I'm just going to hold it, and I'm going to press it down right in the middle and up. And I think that looks really good. So let me rub the stamp off one more time. Just set that over there for now, and I'll take care of that after the fact. So now I am going to put this down right on top of that, and we want to get that centered up as best we can. And again, I'm not going to put dimension on it because I want my gatefold to come together without any problems. And then let's just lay that in there about like that. And again, I'm going to use the bone folder. I don't want to rub over top of that ink though, in case it's not completely dry. There we go. Alright, so now we have the front and the inside done. What we need to do now is mount our little, oh, I did forget these. I have these little twigs that or little leaves that I think I want those like that. I think those will look real cute like that. So I'm just going to turn these over, and ever so gently I'm going to put some glue onto these little pieces. And then we're just going to drop this down right about there. Looks good. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to bring it up and do it in my hand so I don't get glue on my work surface. And we're going to lay this one down right about there. And what that does, not only does it kind of fill in the empty spots, but it also coordinates with the green because I use that Just Jade. So now what we need to do, let me close my ink. What we need to do now is go ahead and get these pieces mounted. I am going to put dimensions on my butterfly, but before I do that, I want to adhere these pieces to here. And how I'm going to do that is just some glue, and I'm just going to run a little bit around the edges of that decorative edge. Making sure you get around those corners. And then we're just going to put this down, and we would just want to center it. Get it nice and centered. That looks very good. And if you notice, you'll have one large one and one smaller one. This is your smaller one, and this is your larger one. And these pieces are cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, the green. And then the white was cut at 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't right. 2 3/8. 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. So I don't usually like to do 8s, but I couldn't help it with this. And then I just use that corner punch to get that decorative edge. And you don't have to do that. If you want to just leave them plain, they're just as pretty plain. You could also use a little decorative die punch, or dies if you had them, to cut a little decorative square, stitched, or however you would like. Like I always tell you, make it yours, because that's what crafting's all about. It's bringing your personality and your style and your taste into your paper crafting. So again, I'm just going to work this down, work this one down, make sure everything is adhered, and that looks really pretty. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put these little these circles that we cut out, and what I did is I put them in my scoreboard and I scored them in half. And this is a 2-inch circle, so you're just going to score it at 1 inch. And that just makes them the perfect size for what we need to do. Now you're going to need one of them to sit right here, just like that. And you don't want it to go over, you want it to sit even flush with that edge. And that's why it was crucial to fold it. So you need to find exactly where you want these pieces to go. And what I want to do is get them about middle way. I'm going to eyeball one, and then I'm going to line the other one up with this one. So I am going to make myself a little pencil mark, because I know this is where I want it to be. So I'm going to make sure it's lined up, and then right here on that little teeny place, I am going to make those 2 little pencil marks. Now I'm going to put glue on this side, and now I'll know exactly my lineup of where I need to lay this down in between those 2 pencil marks. So this is not rocket science. This is about as easy as it gets. So just line that up, work it all the way to the edge, just like that. And now we're going to take the other one and we are going to put glue on it, and all we have to do this time is match them right there in the middle, just like that. So that makes that a really easy and simple process. So now we're just going to come down. Like I said, I'm just going to close the card up, just like that. And then I'm going to bring this piece down and just make sure that it butts right against that one. And then just press it down, and there you go. Now this gives us our little pieces for these pieces to live on. So you have an opening to open your card with. And you can bring one up if you like. Just make sure that you get it where it's not overlapping. So you could have one like this, and then one down a little bit if you wanted it, or you can do them both even. I'm going to do mine about like that. I think that looks really cool. I think it's very pretty. And then we're going to put those butterflies on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bigger butterfly here. And let me grab some dimensionals. And I am going to just use this to pull some of these off. I'm going to turn my little butterfly over and slide these on. And don't you just love these little butterflies? I thought they were so stinking cute. And I did have to wait quite a while for them to come in, because like I said, they did come from Europe. I'm not sure. I think it might be like in England. I'm not sure. But it did take about 6 weeks, I believe, to actually get them in. So worth the wait. I was so thrilled to get them, because I just thought they were super cute. And I love the little whimsical faces on them. They are just so cute. Alright, we got the backers off of that one. So let's decide how we want to put him down. Don't want him, I think I want her just about like that. And I think she's a girl. And you might ask me, why do I think that? Look how cute she is. So then all we're going to do is we are going to put glue on this. And I am going to use liquid glue. You could use double-sided tape if you wanted something maybe a little stronger, but I find that my art glitter glue is plenty strong. And I'm going to bring that right to the edge, just like that. And then I'm going to press it down, and then that's going to fall back like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to put this little butterfly up on the dimensionals. And I'm going to put one there, and one right there, and one here, maybe one in the middle. Always like to balance your pieces of your dimensionals. And it looks like I might need one more right here. And then I'm going to proceed to pull these off. And this one right here needs to come off. Make sure I got them. I didn't get that one. I didn't think that one was quite as sticky as the rest of them. So now this one, I am going to put this one like this. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put glue on here, and then we are just going to put that down just like that. So let's spread a little sunshine or a little glue right along there. And we are going to, I'm going to bring that together so I can make sure I get these as fairly even as I need to. And that's going to go on just like that. And then when you open it, it will open like that. You actually have handles to open your card with. Isn't that pretty? I think that is just gorgeous. So then the other thing that we need to do, and I do want to put something in here because it needs it. So let's decide real quick, what do we want to put on the inside? And I am thinking that maybe, I wonder if, that would be cute. What if we cut a strip of this just to border it? And another strip of this. Let's see if we got another one down here. Oh yeah, we got, well, you know what else we got? We got these two little squares like this. I'm always trying to find a different way to decorate the insides of my cards, and I think I am going to go with this green with the strip. After I put those on there, I was like, this is working for me. So let's go ahead and lay that to our side, and I'm going to get my trimmer. And I am going to cut, I think I'm going to trim this off first. And then let's see if we need, I want these to be about, let's see, this one is 3/4 of an inch. So I want this to be 1 inch by 4. So I need 2 that are 1 by 4. So let's do 2. Oops, that doesn't look like it's cut straight. Alright, let's do it this way. There's 2. And 4. Yes, that was definitely not cut straight. I could tell. Now we can, since we got that all squared up, now we can put this in here at 1 and cut that in half, and we'll have exactly the measurement that we need. So close that down, slice that. Now we got our 2 panels to go right in the middle, and we need, let's see, that was 4. So this needs to be 3 3/4. So we'll take it right to there. And we're going to need another piece that is 3/4. And we need it to be by 4. Make sure that's right. No, 3 3/4. Okay. 3 3/4. Alright, so that gives us our 2 pieces for in there. So I am going to move this back over here. Put a little hook here to hang my trimmer on, and I keep trying to hook it in the wrong place. So it'll be a little learning curve, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball centering this, and I am going to just work a little glue all the way down that middle, and then I'm going to sit this in, giving it just that little bit of a border. Go up a little bit right there, and then I'm going to set this piece right into it. And all this is doing is just giving us a little bit of a decoration on these side panels that really coordinates with everything else on the card, which I always think is a nice touch. When everything coordinates, it just looks so much more together, and I love that. You know, I think as card makers, we all strive for that. And I have made cards that did not look cohesive at all. And after I'd finished with it, I would be like, ooh, I don't think I like that. And you know, somebody would see it and say, oh, that's so pretty. And you know, we are our worst critics. I told that to a friend of mine I was talking to yesterday. We are our own worst critics. So try not to judge your own work. Let somebody else judge it. Show it to a friend. Show it to a family member. And then see what they have to say. Now, I love this. I think it's so cute. You could put a belly band, but I think a belly band would take away from your butterflies on the front. But look at that. Is that not stinking adorable? I love it. And of course, if you wanted to add a message, a place to put a message, the perfect place would be to put a white mat here on the back. You could cut another one of these labels and put that on the back and write your message in it. But I think that card turned out stinking adorable. I hope that y'all liked it, and I hope that you got some inspiration on how to do a gatefold card just in a little bit different sort of way. This was really not a hard card to make. It was just, I guess the most of it was having all the elements, and anything extra that you add on it, of course, makes it, you know, a little bit more time consuming. But you could also do this card and just make it a simple gatefold card and put one opening on it, and then maybe even put a belly band on it. So the possibilities are pretty much endless on what you can do with something like this. But I do like the concept of opening the card like this, and I think it's adorable, and I love my little butterflies on the front. I think maybe they suggested, the person, I saw this on a YouTube video, and they suggested doing these at different sizes, but I think I would do the 2 smaller ones next time, or the 2 larger ones. I don't know that I would make them a different size, but I do love this. I think it's adorable. You could also do it like that and have this one as a surprise element on the inside, or like that. I mean, you know, just because it's a gatefold don't mean you couldn't do it in different ways of opening it up. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed, as I said earlier, and I hope that you will try something like this. And if you do, go over to my Facebook page and share it, Random Acts of Crafting by Kathy Champion. It is a closed group, but we accept you with open arms. So if you have not gone over and joined our group, please do so. And as a reminder, if you are watching this video and you're just one of those people that come on and watch and never comment, please take the time to leave me just a 1-word comment. I have no way of knowing that you're watching my videos unless you leave me a comment. I do go back and read all of my comments, and you will know that I read your comment because I'll put a heart beside it, and you will see my little teeny tiny picture of me showing that I did see your comment and I did read it and I loved it. So, and if you have questions, you can leave me a question there, or you can shoot me an email at my email address, and I'll put it here on the screen as well as in the description box. All of the measurements and everything that I used will be in the description below as well as on the screen as we run it. And I hope everyone has a beautiful, beautiful day. God bless you all. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy of our praise, our honor, and our love. And until we craft again, may God bless and keep you. I love you all. Bye-bye.